Senior Life Journeys presents Carol Howell's Let's Talk Dementia, a podcast designed to help caregivers find knowledge, power, hope, and smiles in their dementia caregiving journey. Welcome to Let's Talk Dementia. Here is your host, best-selling author, Carol Howell.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Carol Howell with Let's Talk Dementia. Well, I'm glad you're here today. We are still quarantined, are we not? To some degree or the other, we all are because of the virus. Well, we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about, though, the effect that living stressfully has on you. Now, as a caregiver, if there's one thing I am sure of, it is you are dealing with stress. Now that we have this virus as part of our world, our stress levels just naturally seem to be higher because of the fear of the unknown that we've got going on. Living in a constant state of stress, as you know, is not good for you. I'm going to explain to you what goes on in the brain with stress and why it is particularly important for you to know this as a caregiver. So I'm reading from a website called 6 Seconds, S-I-X, seconds.org. It's the number 6, and it's quite a good website, and this is what they wrote. So I'm reading from their website. It says, imagine taking a leisurely walk in the park when you suddenly see a snake on the path 2 feet in front of you. In 1 quick second, your body mobilizes. Your eyes register the sight of the long, winding, menacing creature to the amygdala in your brain. The amygdala processes the snake and screams to the hypothalamus, threat, threat. The hypothalamus quickly and competently shoots the message of alarm to your whole nervous system, which prepares you for either a battle or tells you to run like hell. Epinephrine, which is adrenaline, floods your bloodstream, triggering your pounding quick heart rate. Extra blood fills your veins. Your blood pressure sharply increases and rapidly funneling blood towards your vital organs and your muscles. Your breathing quickens and it's shallow, pressing extra oxygen into the brain for added alertness. You are now fully prepared to fight this snake, or you're going to run in the opposite direction. Well, does that sound familiar to you? Have you ever had those times in your life when you realized that you were in that fight or flight type of situation? Well, we all have. Maybe you did it in your dreams. You woke up and you were really stressed out from a bad dream that you've had, and you were all just full of anxiousness and really, I call it jacked up. It's that fight or flight from that bad dream that you've had. Or maybe something's happened in your life that's caused you to be like that. Well, I'm going to tell you what's going on in your life that's causing you to be like that, most likely. It's called caregiving. People who caregive for folks with dementia have a higher level of cortisol in their body than those who don't. Now, when we're in that fight or flight, when we're running from that snake or running from a bear or whatever, never ran from a bear, cortisol is in abundance in our body, and we want it. Because if we're running from a bear, we want extraordinary power to be able to get away from that bear. Right? Or running from the snake, we want to get away from it. I got to tell you, I opened the front door 2 nights ago to take our dog out for her last run of the evening. And I opened the door and I shut it real quick. And I went, snake at the door, snake at the door. Oh man, am I freaked out by snakes. And I can guarantee you at that moment, there was a lot of cortisol in me. That's a good thing. You want to have cortisol when it is appropriate in your life to have it. But you have a very high level of cortisol, most likely because you are in a constant state of stress with dementia caregiving. Now, this is more true if your loved one is in the later stages of their disease than in the earlier stages when they're more competent, they're more able to do things on their own or with a little help. But as we get into those last stages of the disease, we see people who need constant care, and they're not cooperative, and they're very confused, and they're sad, and they're sick, and there's just so much going on, and it makes it so hard for the caregiver. I dig it. Been there, done that. It's hard. And because of that, your cortisol levels in your body start to get higher and higher because you're staying jacked up. You're staying in that fight or flight. You're going to get this done. You're going to be successful, and you're just tense, and you got it. Everything in your body's on set on ready to go, and you don't let that stress go down and let your breathing come back to normal. Living like that increases your chances of so many diseases. You don't even want to know all the diseases that you're more prone to because of living in a high state of cortisol. But I'll tell you, one of them is Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's caregivers have a higher risk of Alzheimer's than those who are not Alzheimer's caregivers. And one of the reasons is because of this constant state of fight or flight, where the brain's so turned on and so ready to act quickly, and those cortisol levels just get higher and higher, and we don't allow them to come back down. Your cortisol levels are higher in the morning than the rest of the day, and that's okay. And then we want them to go down so that at night when we lay down to sleep, we can actually sleep and have good restful sleep. So cortisol levels do fluctuate throughout the day. Study was done with folks who just did a little bit of breathing every day, 3 times a day. 6 months later, they checked those folks, and their cortisol levels had come down to normal. And all they did was practice some healthy breathing. Now, what did that healthy breathing look like? Well, I've talked to you about various types of breathing, where you breathe in for 3 seconds, you breathe out for 6 seconds, or it's called square breathing. It's called lots of things, where maybe you breathe in for 3 seconds, you hold it for 2, you breathe out for 6 seconds, you hold it for 2, any various numbers. But whatever number you breathe out, whether it's 2, 4, 6, 8, you breathe. Whatever number you breathe in, you breathe out twice that long. That's the correct way. So if I'm breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sometimes we're going to hold it at the top of that breathing in and at the bottom of that breathing out for a number of seconds. Well, the study that was done was just deep breaths, just literally sitting and taking deep breaths, breathing in and breathing out, and allowing yourself to do this. I'm trying to remember, I heard a show on it, and I've tried to find the silly show to get the exact numbers to tell you, and I cannot find it anywhere, but it was only like 3 or 4 minutes 3 times a day, where you just sit down and allow yourself to breathe, breathing in, breathing out. Set your phone. You've got a timer on your phone. Set it for 3 minutes and allow yourself that time just to breathe. Do it 3 times a day. The effect on your body, on your brain, on your whole being, on your well-being, on how you process thought, how you look at things, your mood is improved just by taking 3 minutes to breathe. Isn't that incredible? I think it's pretty neat. One of the things that you can do to improve even more so on the benefits of that breathing is to sigh at the end of the breath. So you breathe it in and you breathe it out. That verbalization of letting it out seems to be very helpful. For some of us, it's just a very quiet little, gentle, feminine little, and for some of us, it's breathing in and really letting it out. It's very good for you. You can do this. It will cost you nothing to do but 3 minutes, 3 times a day. It's going to make you a better caregiver, but it's also going to make you live a healthier life, make you healthier. And that's what I want. I want you to be healthy and smiling, because I need you to come back tomorrow for another episode of Let's Talk Dementia. See you then. Bye-bye. Let's Talk Dementia would like to thank our sponsors, National Association of Veterans and Families. You can reach them at 800-352-2919, on the internet at www.navf.org. They speak veterans so you don't have to, and you tell them Carol sent you when you call to inquire about benefits for the veteran, the spouse of the veteran, or both. Editor Beth. You can find Ms. Beth Crosby at editorbeth.com. She is amazing at looking at what you've written and making sure it represents you well. Find her at www.editorbeth.com. And HD Imports, located on Flint Street Extension in Rock Hill, South Carolina. That's York County. 803-985-0985. They are there for the repair and maintenance of your Honda, Hyundai, Toyota, Kia. Tell them Carol sent you.
Thanks for joining us today for Carol Howell's Let's Talk Dementia. To learn more about dementia, we recommend Carol's best-selling book, also titled Let's Talk Dementia. It's available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle versions. Be sure to like Let's Talk Dementia on Facebook. and leave us a kind word of review on iTunes. Remember, knowledge brings power. Power brings hope. Hope brings smiles. And we all need more smiles. Thanks for joining us today. And we'll be right here when you come back to Let's Talk Dementia.